Early the next day, Lobo was telling Jessica everything what he saw. And Lobo also learned that Kelvin had seen something last night as well. Are you sure you saw something last night, Lobo? I mean, the darkness can't play tricks on you.
I don't know, Jessica.
Aiden and Nickel were nearby. And they were talking about an engine that Nickel knew well. Until after their conversation, Aiden spoke up. Guys, I think it's time that we should tell you. What are you talking about, Aiden?
Tell us what, Aiden and Nickel?
Lobo, that engine that you and Kelvin saw was one of the engines of the Nickel Plate Road. He was one of the Berkshire engines, but he isn't from the Nickel Plate Road. He's from the Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad. His name is Kelvis.
Wait, Nickel, you know that engine?
Yes, Lobo. Kelvis is Nickel Plate Road 828. Before he worked on Nickel Plate Road, he worked for the Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad. But until then, the Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad was merged with the Nickel Plate Road. And then, Kelvis was renumbered to 828. Kelvis was also one of the older models of the Nickel Plate Road Berkshires. Since he was from the Wheeling and Lake Erie, he worked very hard to make sure he made a good impression. Despite his old age, he showed himself as good-hearted and was friends to many. He was a very chipper fellow, always willing to make sure he did his job right. Although some other engines thought of him as being a show-off, but that wasn't the case at all. Kelvis did his job without fuss and was a very hard worker. He didn't mind the hard work. All he wanted to do was make his controller proud. Sadly, during the time in the 60s, diesels were coming in, and Kelvis was worried he was going to be scrapped. But he was still kept in working service for a few years. But until that day in December, until that fateful day. On December 12th of 1961, Kelvis was assigned to take a train from Michigan to Indiana. I myself was very worried about Kelvis, but Kelvis told me not to worry and that he would be fine. But unfortunately, that wasn't going to be the case at all. And it turned out that Kelvis never arrived. His brakes failed and he lost control of his train and became a runaway. He railed near a bridge and fell off the cliffside, taking his entire train with him. And when he hit the ground, his boiler exploded. After the accident, Kelvis's body was recovered. He was placed in storage until he was scrapped in 1962. But after that day, many people have reported sightings of a ghostly Nickel Plate Road Berkshire trying to cross the bridge, but it never gets to the other side. And even to this day, Kelvis is still out there, wandering the line, making his presence known.
So that was the ghost I saw.
Yes, Lobo, that was Kelvis.
I hope I can use my hooks to help him move on, Nickel.
I hope so, because one of these nights, me and you are gonna go find him and help him move on. Are you sure about that, Nickel? Yes, Aiden. I knew him longer than you ever known him. But I have to warn you, he gets sensitive.
What do you mean he gets sensitive?
He doesn't like it when people are rude to him or anything like that. He gets scared easily when he thinks of himself as, well, a pile of scrap, if you know what I mean.
He doesn't like those who think of him as a joke?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Dave and Larry encounter him. They would be scared, definitely.
Well, those two CSX diesels saw them, and they would surely be scared. I hope we can help him find peace, Nicole.
I hope so too, Lobo. I hope so too.